Hello, everyone. My name is Eduardo Silva. I'm a third grade teacher and technology coach for Edinburgh CISD. Today, we're going to explore the temporal contiguity principle, a key concept in multimedia learning that helps learners process information more effectively and retain it longer. As a teacher and coach, I've seen multimedia lessons that either enhance learning or overwhelm learning for our students. The temporal contiguity principle helps avoid overload by making sure words and visuals are presented together, and time allowing learners to process information more efficiently. It helps students stay more focused and it improves learning outcomes. So let's go ahead and talk about synchronized learning. We have to make sure that we engage our audiences by connecting visuals and narration seamlessly for better retention. Have you ever tried to follow a video where the narration and videos weren't aligned? You probably found yourself trying to remember what was said while watching it, which can be very confusing. And it has happened to all of us probably at some point in time, either through our careers or through our college career. Research shows that learners understand and remember content far better when spoken, words, and visuals are presented at the same time. So let's go ahead and talk as to what temporal contiguity means. The temporal contiguity principle is simple. When a visual or animation is shown, the narration describing it should occur at the same time. For example, if an animation shows the steps of a bicycle bump, the narration should describe each step as it happens, rather than before or after. This makes it easier for learners to connect with words and visuals. So, for example, we have a picture of a floor pump here. As you can see, we have our visual and our text happening at the same time. This is what we mean by temporal contiguity. They both have to be shown to your students or to your audience when it's happening, not vice versa. In this example, we can see a picture of a floor pump. It gives you descriptions of how the floor pump looks and how it could be used when you buy it. It gives you examples of how the handle looks or where it's located. It gives you where you can put the needles for inflating. And it also talks a little bit about the large stable base that you have. All of this is what we want to see in our lessons. This helps students and our learners understand a little better how we can connect text and how we can connect the visuals or graphic we are showing on a day to day lesson. So let's talk why it matters. If you separate narrations and the visuals in a presentation, learners must hold all the information in their working memory until the visuals appear, or vice versa. This can be very overwhelming for some of our students or our audience, and it makes learning less effective. Synchronizing narration and visuals reduces cognitive load and allows learners to focus on understanding rather than trying to remember details. By connecting both the visuals and the text, we allow our students and audience to understand at the same time what is going on instead of waiting and holding all that other information in our heads. So, obviously, like everything else, there's also exceptions, and there's a few tips that we can talk about too. There are a few exceptions. If the content is very short or learners control the pace, it may be okay to show the visual first or provide a brief text before the narration. However, for complex topics or lessons for novice learners, always synchronize words and visuals to reduce cognitive load and enhance learning. This could help our learners be able to perform better than other learners who did not get a chance to see both the visuals and the text at the same time. But it all comes with how long your presentation is and how and who your audience is. So you really need to know who your audience is when performing a presentation to new learners. So, some key takeaways, just to summarize, here are the key points. Always present narration with visuals simultaneously. Avoid separating words and graphics for complex context. And used synchronized animations or still frames to help learners connect and make connections to retain better information. So these are the references that I used for my lesson today. I want to thank you all for listening and understanding a little bit better as to what temporal contiguity is and how we can use it in our lessons on a day to day basis.